Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. In this video, we're going to be doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 10. So the Chapter 8 was Queen Kunti's prayers and Yudhishthir Maharaj saying, I have done such a horrible thing by killing so many people right after the end of the Mahabharat war. And then Chapter 9 was Bhishma Dev, his prayers basically to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and trying to console Yudhishthir Maharaj. Okay, and this video we're going to be doing Chapter 10. I am very, very excited. I really found chapter 8 and 9 extremely sweet. So this is amazing. I'm thrilled to be doing this project. Okay, so let us call out to Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dear Bhagwan Shri Krishna, please help us use these verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam, even though we're just reading the text only, not the Sanskrit shlokas, only just the English translations. Please help us absorb something from this so that it helps us come closer to you, and please help us increase our attachment to you, intensify our attachment to you. Please help bring us closer to bhakti and prem. Okay, so let's do the verses. Departure of Lord Shri Krishna for Dwarka, Chapter 10. Text 1. Shaunaka Muni asked, after killing his enemies who desired to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaj Yudhishthir, assisted by his brothers, rule his subjects? Surely he could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness. This is what Yudhishthir Maharaj was really upset about, that I've killed so many people. So then Shaunaka Muni is asking, how did he manage to overcome that, I'm assuming, and enjoy his kingdom. Text 2. Suta Goswami said, Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the maintainer of the world, became pleased after re-establishing Maharaj Yudhishthir in his own kingdom and after restoring the Kuru dynasty, which had been exhausted by the bamboo fire of anger. Text 3. Maharaj Yudhishthir, after being enlightened by what was spoken by Bhishma Dev and Bhagwan Shri Krishna, the infallible, engaged in himself in matters of perfect knowledge because all of his misgivings were eradicated. Thus he ruled over the earth and seas and was followed by his younger brothers. Okay, so he did rule, and he was enlightened and pacified and consoled by Bhishma Dev and Krishna Bhagwan. Text 4. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, the clouds showered all the water that people needed. The earth produced all the necessities of man in profusion. Due to its fatty milk bag and cheerful attitude, the cow used to moisten the grazing ground. With milk. Fatty milk bag. Okay. Text 5. The rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, and active drugs in every season paid their tax quota to the king in profusion. Okay, so he's talking about like not people paying tax, but the rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, all of that. So basically, it was a very happy time. Text 6. Because of the kings having no enemy, wow, the living beings were not at any time disturbed by mental agonies, diseases, or excessive heat or cold. Text 7. Bhagwan Shri Krishna resided at Hastinapur for a few months to pacify his relatives and please his own sister, Subhadra. Text 8. Afterwards, when the Lord asked permission to depart and the king gave it, the Lord offered his respects to Maharaj Yudhishthir by bowing down at his feet, and the king embraced him. After this, Krishna Bhagwan being embraced by others and receiving their obeisances, got into his chariot. Oh, he's leaving. I'm feeling separation. No, don't go. Text 9 and 10. At that time, Subhadra, Draupadi, Kunti, Uttara, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra, Yuyutsu, Kripacharya, Nakula, Sahadev, Bhimsen, Dhaumya, and Satyavati all nearly fainted because it was impossible for them to bear separation from Lord Shri Krishna. Ah, there you go. Text 11 and 12. The intelligent who have understood the Supreme Lord in association with pure devotees and have become freed from basic bad materialistic association can never avoid hearing the glories of the Lord, even though they have heard them only once. How then could the Pandavas tolerate his separation, for they had been intimately associated with his person, seeing him face to face, touching him, conversing with him, sleeping, sitting, and dining with him? Text 13. All their hearts were melting for him on the pot of attraction. They looked at him without blinking their eyes, and they moved hither and thither in perplexity. Text 14. The female relatives, whose eyes were flooded with tears out of anxiety for Krishna, came out of the palace. They could stop their tears only with great difficulty. They feared that tears would cause misfortune at the time of departure. That's why they were trying to stop it. Otherwise, I mean, I'm like, I don't even know how to stop tears. Text 15. While the Lord was departing from the place of Hastinapur, oh, different types of drums like the mridanga, dhola, nagra, Dhunduri, Dhundubhi, and flutes of different types, the veena, gomukha, bheri, all sounded together to show him honor. Text 16. Out of a loving desire to see the Lord, the royal ladies of the Kurus got up on top of the palace and, smiling with affection and shyness, they showered flowers upon the Lord. Text 17. At that time, Arjun, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who is the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Text 18. Arjun basically held up an umbrella for him. Text 18. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans, and the Lord, as master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Text 19. It was being heard here and there that the benedictions were being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. Not understanding that would probably need the purport reading befitting or unbefitting. Text 20. Absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is sung in select poetry, the ladies on the roofs of all houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. Oh. Yeah, Hari Katha, basically glorifying Bodhayantar Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam 10:9. It's more attractive than hymns of the Vedas. 10:21. They said, here he is, the original personality of Godhead, as we definitely remember him. He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge, as if sleeping at night, their energy suspended. So they all know then that he's God. Text 22. The personality of Godhead, again desiring to give names and forms to his parts and parcels, the living entities, placed them under guidance of material nature, but by his own potency, material nature is empowered to recreate. So, giving names and forms, his parts and parcels means the jivas, the souls. So, he placed them under guidance of material nature. That's completely opposite from what we hear, right? Material nature, it's Maya, it's illusion, it's so bad, it's all that. Text 23. Here, the same God whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. So, here is the same God. So basically, when we have a rigid devotional service and full control of life and senses, then we're completely cleansed of material consciousness, and that's the only way to purify existence. 24. Oh dear friends, here is that very God whose attractive and confidential pastimes are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remains unaffected. 25. Wherever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in his transcendental form manifests his supreme power. The truth positive shows special mercy to the faithful. Some sound I'm hearing, it's distracting me. Performs wonderful activities and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. So he comes on earth basically, yada hida dharmasya, 4:7. He comes on earth whenever there is a need. I think that's what this is kind of saying. 26. Oh, how supremely glorified is the dynasty of King Yadu, and how virtuous is the land of Mathura. This thing is distracting me again. Okay. Where the supreme leader of all living beings, the husband of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, has taken birth and wandered in his childhood. So that's in Mathura. 27. Undoubtedly, it is wonderful that Dwarka has defeated the glories of the heavenly planets and has enhanced the celebrity of the earth. The inhabitants of Dwarka are always seeing the soul of all living beings, Krishna, in his loving feature. He glances at them and favors them with sweet smiles. So people in Dwarka are always seeing Krishna. Favors them with sweet smiles. When will you do that to me? Text 28. Oh friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe to constantly relish how the nectar from his lips by kissing. The damsels of Rajabhumi would often faint just by expecting such favors. Damsels of Rajbhumi meaning gopis. Text 29. Third, the children of these ladies are Pradyumna, Samba, Amba, etc. Ladies like Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati were forcibly taken away from him from their Swayamvar ceremonies after he defeated many powerful kings headed by Shishupal. I don't know about forcibly taken away by him. Oh yeah, he kidnapped Rukmini. Rukmini Devi wrote a letter to Krishna asking him, "Okay, I only love you. I only want you as my husband. Can you please rescue me?" And he came over and rescued her or kidnapped her. I didn't know that Satyabhama and Jambavati were also kidnapped. All other ladies were also forcibly taken away by him after he killed Brahmasur and thousands of his assistants. All these ladies are glorious. I think 16,000 people he rescued from killing a demon and he married all of them. It's amazing, right? Text 30. All these women auspiciously glorified their lives despite their being without individuality and without purity. They glorified their lives despite being without individuality and without purity. I don't understand that. Their husband, the lotus-eyed personality of Godhead, never left them alone at home. He always pleased their hearts by making valuable presentations. 31. When the ladies of the capital, Hastinapur, were greeting him and talking in this way, the Lord, smiling, accepting their good greetings and casting the grace of his glance over them, he departed from the city. So they were greeting him and talking from the rooftops, and Krishna Bhagwan graced them with his glance, and then he left. 32. Maharaj Yudhishthir, although no one's enemy, engaged 4 divisions of defense, horse, elephant, chariot, and army, to accompany Krishna, the enemy of the Asuras, demons. So Maharaj Yudhishthir is like, I have to protect Krishna, I have to help Krishna. Maharaj did this because of the enemy, but also, although no one's enemy. So which enemy? Also out of affection for the Lord. 33. Out of profound affection for Lord Krishna, the Pandavas, who were Kuru dynasty, accompanied him a considerable distance to see him off. They were overwhelmed at the thought of future separation. The Lord, however, persuaded them to return home, and he proceeded towards Dwarka with his dear companions. 34-35. O Shaunaka, the Lord that proceeded towards Kuru Jangala Panchala Surasena, the land on the bank of the river Yamuna, Brahmavarta, Kurukshetra, Matsya, Saraswata, the province of the desert, and the land of scanty water. After crossing these provinces, he gradually reached the Sauvira and Abhira provinces. Then west of these reached Dwarka at last. Text 36. On his journey through these provinces, he was welcomed, worshipped, and given various presentations. In the evening, in all places, the Lord suspended his journey to perform evening rites. This was regularly observed after sunset. Okay. Okay. This is the basically the journey of Bhagwan Shri Krishna out of Hastinapur into Dwarika. Okay, so that's it for this video. Wish you a day filled with lots and lots of glances and mercy, grace of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe.